The Lyrian outpost was small but advanced, hidden within an asteroid field. The few Lyrians there had welcomed Nari with joy, and the humans with cautious friendship. Now they gathered around, sensing the gravity of the news. "This is my fault," said Nari. "I brought this to your people." "No," said June firmly. "The Krell made their choice, and now we'll make ours." The rest of the message contained Earth's response: full mobilization of the United Defense Fleet. After years of peace, humanity was going to war. When June shared this news with the Lyrian elders, they were stunned. "You would go to war for us?" asked Tai-Ho, the oldest of the Lyrians. "When you barely know our people?" "We go to war because innocent humans were killed," replied June, "but also because we recognize the threat the Krell pose to all peaceful species." Nari watched him with wonder. In all her diplomatic training, she had never encountered a species willing to fight so fiercely for new allies. That night, as June prepared the Pathfinder to return to Earth, he received another message, this one directly from Admiral Kim, head of Earth's defense forces. "Commander Park," the Admiral addressed him. "In light of your unique experience with both the Lyrians and the Krell, you are being promoted to captain. You will lead a special joint strike force with our new allies. Your knowledge of Lyrian technology and culture is invaluable." When he told Nari about the promotion, she surprised him by taking his hands in hers. "My people have a saying," she said softly. "The stars bring together those who need each other most." The mental connection formed instantly this time, stronger than ever before. June felt her pride in him, but also her fear for what was to come. She felt his determination, and something deeper he was trying to hide, feelings for her that went beyond their alliance. When they broke apart, both were breathing hard. "I'll be your advisor," she said, "if your leaders allow it." "They've already requested it," he replied. "We leave for Earth tomorrow." The reception on Earth was not entirely welcoming. While military leaders were eager to learn from the Lyrians, many politicians questioned the wisdom of entering a war with an unknown enemy for the sake of an equally unknown ally. "How do we know we can trust them?" demanded one counselor during a heated meeting. "For all we know, they provoked the Krell." "I was there," June said, standing tall before the council. "I saw the aftermath of the unprovoked attack on Nari's ship, and now the Krell have attacked one of our colonies. Perhaps if we returned the Lyrian to them," began another counselor. "Is that who we are now?" June's voice cut through the chamber. "A species that sacrifices allies to save ourselves. The Krell will not stop with the Lyrians, they are conquerors." He stepped forward, eyes blazing with intensity. "You want war?" he said, repeating Earth's message to the Krell. "Prepare for battle." The room fell silent. Then Admiral Kim stood and nodded to June. "Captain Park will lead our joint strike team. The Lyrians have offered to equip our ships with their shield technology as a first step." As they left the council chambers, Nari walked beside June, her blue skin standing out among the humans. "Your people are fierce," she observed, "yet divided. That's how we've always been," he said. "But when truly threatened, we stand together." Within days, their mission was clear: infiltrate Krell territory and discover their weaknesses before the main fleet engaged. It would be dangerous, possibly suicidal. As they prepared to leave Earth, June and Nari stood on a balcony overlooking the massive shipyards. Hundreds of vessels were being readied for war. "There's no turning back now," said Nari. "No," agreed June. "But whatever happens, we face it together." The stealth ship glided silently through Krell space. Captain June Park and Nari had chosen this small, modified vessel for their mission. It carried only 20 crew members, 10 humans and 10 Lyrians, all volunteers. "We're approaching the target," whispered Officer Lee from the navigation station. Krell defense platform dead ahead. On the view screen, a massive structure orbited a small moon. It was one of many such platforms forming a defense network around Krell territory. "Any sign they've detected us?" asked June. "None, Captain." "The Lyrian cloaking technology is holding?" June glanced at Nari. Her face showed calm, but through their growing mental bond, he could sense her tension. They had discovered something extraordinary during their weeks planning this mission. Their resonance had deepened to the point where they could sense each other's emotions, even without touching. "Ready the probe," ordered June. Their mission was to plant special sensors on the defense platform. These would reveal crucial information about Krell technology and defenses back to the Allied fleet. "Team ready in the launch bay," reported the first officer. June stood. "I'll lead the away." "Team." Nari rose beside him. "I'm coming too." "It's too dangerous," he argued. "The sensors are Lyrian technology. You need me." Their eyes met in silent communication. Finally, he nodded. In the launch bay, 6 crew members, 3 human, 3 Lyrian, waited in special spacesuits. The mission was simple but dangerous. Approach the platform undetected, plant the sensors, and return before the Krell realized they were there. As they prepared to leave, June pulled Nari aside. "If anything happens to me," he began. Nari placed her blue fingers against his lips. "Nothing will happen to either of us." They launched toward the platform using small thrusters on their suits. The vast structure loomed before them, covered in weapons and sensors. They landed on its outer hull, magnetic boots keeping them anchored to the metal surface. "Begin placing the sensors," June ordered through the comm system. Working in pairs, they moved across the hull. June and Nari headed for the central power core, the most important location for their largest sensor. Just as they reached it, alarms blared across the platform. Red lights flashed everywhere. "We've been detected," shouted one of the human officers. "Complete the mission," ordered June. "Place all remaining sensors." He and Nari worked frantically to install the main sensor. Through their bond, they worked with perfect coordination, each anticipating the other's moves. "Patrol ships approaching," came the warning from their vessel. The sensor finally locked into place, its lights blinking as it began transmitting data. "Everyone back to the ship," ordered June. They raced across the hull as Krell soldiers emerged from airlocks, energy weapons fired, beams of light cutting through space around them. One beam struck a Lyrian crew member who tumbled away into the darkness. Another hit one of the humans in the leg. June grabbed the injured human while Nari provided covering fire with her own weapon. They were the last to reach their ship, diving through the airlock as more Krell fire erupted behind them. "Get us out." "Of here," June shouted once they were aboard. The ship accelerated away from the platform, but 3 Krell vessels pursued them. "We can't outrun them," said the pilot. Nari stepped forward. "The sensors, are they transmitting?" Officer Lee checked his console. "Yes, all data flowing to the Allied fleet." "Then our mission is complete," said Nari. She turned to June. "There's one more thing the Lyrians haven't shared with humans yet. A last resort." She placed her hand on the ship's main console. Blue energy flowed from her fingers into the systems. "What are you doing?" asked June. "Showing you our greatest secret. The reason the Krell fear us." The ship's engines suddenly glowed with brilliant blue light. Its speed doubled, then tripled, leaving the Krell vessels far behind. When they reached the rendezvous point with the Allied fleet, Admiral Kim was waiting. The data from their sensors had revealed a critical weakness in Krell technology. Their defense systems could not detect or stop attacks using certain energy frequencies. "With this information, we can end this war quickly," said the Admiral. "Minimal casualties on both sides." 2 weeks later, the Allied forces launched their attack. The Krell, faced with enemies who could bypass their defenses, quickly sued for peace. In the aftermath, more species joined the Human-Lyrian alliance. They had all suffered under Krell aggression and welcomed the chance for peace and cooperation. On the day Nari was officially named ambassador to Earth, she and June stood together in a garden overlooking the ocean. "My mission to find allies succeeded better than I ever imagined," she said. June took her hand, letting their connection flow freely between them. "Not just allies," he said softly. "No," she agreed. "Much more than that. Their differences, human and Lyrian, verbal and telepathic, flesh and energy, had once seemed too great to overcome. But in those differences, they had found strength. And in each other, they had found home, among the stars. The question hit him hard. He had never spoken to anyone about the loneliness of command, the weight of responsibility for 30 lives on this mission. Before he could answer, the ship's alarm blared. "Commander, to the bridge," came the announcement. They rushed together to the command center. Officer Hahn looked up from his station with concern. "We're approaching a plasma storm, sir. It wasn't on any of our charts." The view screen showed a swirling mass of energy ahead, brilliant colors dancing against the blackness of space. "Change course," ordered June. "We can't, sir," replied the navigator. "The storm is expanding too quickly. We're already caught in its outer field." The ship shuddered as energy waves hit it. Lights flickered across the bridge. "Our shields won't hold against this kind of energy," said Officer Tay. "We need to find a way through it." Nari stepped forward, her eyes fixed on the storm. "I may be able to help." The crew looked at her with surprise and doubt. "My people have studied these phenomena," she explained. "This is not just a storm. It's alive, in its way. It responds to energy patterns." June hesitated only briefly. "What do you suggest?" "I need access to your shield controls. I can modify the frequency to create a pathway through the storm." Some of the crew looked uncomfortable with the idea of giving an alien access to ship systems. But June nodded. "Show her the shield controls." Working together, June and Nari modified the shield frequency. Her fingers moved with surprising speed over the unfamiliar controls. "Ready," she said finally. "But I'll need to maintain the field manually as we move through." The storm grew larger on the view screen, filling it with swirling colors. "Take us in," ordered June. The Pathfinder entered the storm. The ship rocked violently as energy waves crashed against it. On the bridge, everyone held tight to their stations. Only Nari stood calmly, her hands dancing over the controls, adjusting the shields moment by moment. June watched her work, amazed by her focus and skill. When a particularly strong surge hit the ship, she stumbled. Without thinking, he reached out to steady her. The moment their skin touched, the mental connection formed. But this time, instead of just receiving images from her, June felt his own, knowledge flowing to her, his understanding of the ship's systems, his experience with space storms. Together, their minds worked as one. June could suddenly see patterns in the storm that had been invisible before. Nari could understand the ship's capabilities in a new way. "There," they said together, pointing to a calmer path through the chaos. The navigator followed their direction, and slowly, the Pathfinder made its way through the heart of the storm. When they emerged on the other side, the crew erupted in cheers. As the connection broke, June and Nari looked at each other with new understanding. "That was..." June struggled to find the words. "Yes," Nari said simply. "Among my people, such a connection is rare even for us. We call it resonance. It happens only when two minds are perfectly matched." Later, in the quiet of his quarters, June thought about what had happened. He had never felt so understood, so completely known by another being. It was terrifying and wonderful all at once. He did not realize that across the ship, Nari was having similar thoughts. For her, finding resonance with a human, a species her people had never even met before, was something beyond imagination. She wondered what it might mean for both their worlds. Neither of them knew that faraway Krell Scout ships were already tracking the energy signature of the storm and the unusual ship that had survived it. The Pathfinder received new orders 3 days after the storm incident. They were to return to Earth immediately, bringing Nari to meet with human leaders. The crew's discovery of an advanced alien species, especially one threatened by hostile forces, was too important to delay. June found Nari in the observation deck, staring at the stars. Since their shared experience during the storm, something had changed between them. They didn't need the mental connection to understand each other now. "We're heading to Earth," he said, joining her by the viewport. "Our leaders want to meet you." Nari nodded slowly. "My mission was to find allies against the Krell. Perhaps this is fate." "Do you believe in fate?" June asked. "My people believe that certain souls are drawn together across the stars." Her purple eyes reflected the distant lights. "What do you believe, Commander?" Before he could answer, Officer Tay's voice came over the intercom. "Commander to the bridge. Urgent." When they arrived, the bridge crew stood tense around the sensor display. "3 ships approaching fast," reported Officer Han. "Unknown design, but their energy signatures match debris we found near Nari's ship." Nari's face paled to a lighter blue. "Krell scout ships. They're hunting me." "How did they find us?" asked June. "The storm," Nari explained. "The energy we used to escape it created a unique signature. They've been tracking it." "Battle stations," ordered June. "Prepare evasive maneuvers." The Pathfinder was not built for combat. Its shields were designed for cosmic radiation, not weapons fire. Its small engines couldn't outrun military vessels. "Sir, they're hailing us," said Officer Tay. The main screen flickered to life. A reptilian face appeared, scaled skin, yellow, slitted eyes, and a mouthful of sharp teeth. "Humans," the Krell commander hissed. "Return the Lyrian to us and you may continue your journey unharmed." June stepped forward. "The Lyrian is under our protection. She has requested asylum." The Krell's eyes narrowed. "You do not understand what you're involving yourselves in. The Lyrians are deceivers. They use their mind powers to manipulate other species." "That's not true," Nari said, stepping into view. "Commander, they destroyed my diplomatic vessel without warning. They fear our alliance with other species." The Krell commander snarled when he saw her. "Surrender her now or face destruction." The transmission cut off. "They're moving to surround us," reported Officer Han. June turned to Nari. "Is there anything else about your people I should know? Anything that might help us?" Nari hesitated, then nodded. "There is something, but not here." She glanced around at the watching crew. "In private." In June's quarters, Nari revealed the truth. "My people have developed technology beyond anything in this sector," she explained. "We've learned to harness the energy of stars themselves. The Krell want this technology for conquest." "Why didn't you tell me this before?" asked June. "Because even among allies, such knowledge is dangerous. Many would use it as the Krell would, as a weapon." The ship shuddered as the first Krell shots hit their shields. "Our shields are failing," came the report over the intercom. June made his decision. "I trust you," he told Nari. "How can we escape them?" She reached into her suit and removed a small crystal that glowed with inner light. "This contains the coordinates of a hidden Lyrian outpost. They can help us, but what? To share? This with humans means bringing your species fully into this conflict. The Krell will never stop hunting you after this." Another blast rocked the ship. "We're already in this conflict," said June. Their eyes met, and in that moment something unspoken passed between them. June realized with sudden clarity that his feelings for Nari had grown beyond curiosity or friendship. They rushed back to the bridge. With Nari's crystal connected to the navigation system, the Pathfinder made a desperate jump just as the Krell ships closed in. The stars blurred around them as they escaped. But everyone on board knew this was only the beginning. The Krell would follow, and when they found Earth, humanity would face a threat unlike any they had known before. As the ship sped toward the coordinates of the Lyrian outpost, June stood beside Nari on the bridge. Whatever came next, they would face it together. The message from Earth came 2 days after the Pathfinder reached the hidden Lyrian outpost. June read it twice, his face growing darker with each word. "What is it?" asked Nari, watching him from across the command center. "The Krell found New Haven Colony," he said quietly. "They attacked without warning. 5,000 people were living there." "How many survived?" she asked, already fearing the answer. "Less than 1,000. Mostly those who were off-planet at the time." June's hands clenched into fists. "They left a message saying it was punishment for harboring a Lyrian. Here's part 1 of the story in about 800 words with simple English and third-person style. Human rescues alien girl, sparking an unlikely romance." The bright red alert lights flashed across the bridge of the Pathfinder. Commander June Park gripped his captain's chair as the old exploration vessel shuddered beneath him. "Distress signal confirmed, sir," said Tay, the communications officer. "It's coming from the uncharted region ahead. Signal pattern unknown." June stood up and walked to the main view screen. The stars stretched out before them, cold and distant. Somewhere out there, someone needed help. "How far?" he asked. "About 3 hours at top speed," replied Tay. June nodded. "Set course. Alert medical to prepare for possible casualties." The Pathfinder was not a warship. It was an exploration vessel with a crew of 30 humans mapping the edges of known space. They were far from Earth and any backup. But June would not ignore a call for help. As they approached the source of the signal, the sensors detected debris floating in space, the remains of a ship unlike any they had seen before. "Scan for life signs," ordered June. Officer Han checked his instruments. "One faint life sign detected, sir. Not human." "Prepare a rescue team," said June. "I'll lead it. Myself." Soon June and 3 crew members floated through space in their protective suits. Their lights cut through the darkness as they approached the broken alien ship. The vessel was sleek and curved, made of a blue-white metal that seemed to glow from within. Most of it was destroyed, but one section remained somewhat intact. "This way," said June, pointing to a tear in the hull. Inside, the air was thin but breathable. Strange symbols covered the walls, and the technology was far beyond Earth's capabilities. "Commander, over here," called Lee, the team's medic. In what seemed to be the control room, they found her. A humanoid figure lay trapped under fallen equipment. Her skin was pale blue and her hair was silver like starlight. She wore a fitted suit that seemed to be part of her body. June approached carefully. The alien's eyes opened suddenly. Eyes, with no whites, just deep purple irises that seemed to contain galaxies. She spoke, but her words were impossible to understand. Then she reached out a trembling hand toward June. Without hesitation, he took it. A rush of images and feelings flooded his mind. Fear, pain, gratitude. It lasted only a second, but June stumbled back, shocked. "She's telepathic," he gasped. The alien tried to move but cried out in pain. Lee scanned her with medical equipment. "Multiple injuries," he reported. "We need to get her to our ship immediately." Carefully, they freed her from the wreckage and secured her to a stretcher. All the while, her eyes never left June's face. Back on the Pathfinder, Dr. Kim worked for hours to save the alien's life. June waited outside the medical bay, unable to focus on anything else. Finally, Dr. Kim emerged, looking tired but satisfied. "She'll live," she said. "Her biology is different from ours, but similar enough that our treatments worked. She's awake and asking for you. Well, not with words, but she keeps projecting an image of your face." June entered the medical bay. The alien lay on a bed connected to monitors. When she saw him, her face lit up. "Can you understand me?" June asked. She touched her throat and shook her head. Then she pointed to her temple. Understanding, June sat beside her bed and hesitantly reached for her hand. Again, the connection formed, but gentler this time. Images flowed between them. The alien showed him her name, not in words, but in feelings, and colors that somehow translated to Nari in his mind. She showed him her people, the Lyrians, a peaceful race of explorers and diplomats. Then came darker images. Another alien species, reptilian and aggressive, the Krell. They had attacked, without warning, destroying Nari's ship. She was the only survivor, a diplomat on a mission to form alliances against the Krell threat. When the connection broke, June found himself breathing hard, his heart racing. He had never experienced anything like it. "Nari," he said out loud. Testing the name, she smiled, recognizing that he understood. Over the next few days, the ship's engineers worked to build a translation device. Meanwhile, June visited Nari often, learning more about her through their brief mental connections. The crew was fascinated by their guest. Humans had encountered other species before, but none with telepathic abilities like hers. 1 week after the rescue, the translator was ready. Nari's first translated words to June were simple but meaningful. Thank you for saving me, she said, her voice soft through the device. My life is yours. June shook his head. Your life is your own, but I promise you're safe here with us. Nari's eyes shimmered with emotion. The Krell are coming. They'll find us. And when they do, they'll show no mercy. In the weeks following her rescue, Nari grew stronger each day. The medical team marveled at how quickly her blue skin healed, leaving no scars where deep wounds had been. June visited her daily, fascinated by their growing ability to communicate. The translation device helped, but their deepest understanding came through brief touches and the mental connection they shared. These moments left June breathless each time, as if he had glimpsed something too vast to comprehend. Your emotions are so contained, Nari said one morning as they walked slowly around the ship's small garden area. Plants from Earth grew, in neat rows under artificial light. What do you mean? Asked June. Humans feel deeply, but you hide it. You build walls around your hearts. She touched a flower gently. Among my people, emotions flow freely between us. We share joy and pain together. June watched her curiously. That sounds overwhelming. It can be, but it also means we're never truly alone. Her purple eyes met his. You are very alone, aren't you, June Park?